And now let's take a look at our next story. It is a bittersweet harvest for vineyards in the Champagne region of France. The grape harvest this year has been better than any other year in living memory, but the coronavirus pandemic has hit the industry hard. So how are the wine growers dealing with the COVID-19 induced slump? This report tells you more.
The grape harvest season generally begins by the middle of September. But this year, the winemakers in the Champagne region of France are harvesting a bumper crop. It is a bittersweet harvest, as the coronavirus pandemic has caused a slump in the demand for bubbly. Paradoxically, in the year when the champagne demand is low, the sun has been bright, with just the right amount of rain and perfect weather for the growth of grapes.
This year is exceptional because of the great quantity of sun and for a while now, very little rain. We've seen for several years that harvests tend to be more and more precocious, but this year is clearly exceptional. Last week we checked the level of ripeness to measure sugar contents in the must, and we observed that for this parcel of land, the grapes were ripe. That's why I decided to start the harvest today.
The yield in the vineyards is more bountiful than usual. Teams of pickers in baseball caps work their way along rows of vines, harvesting grapes by hand. It is back-breaking labor, but wages for the workers this year are low. Sale of champagne is sharply down, as weddings and parties have been either cancelled or postponed. According to estimates, anywhere from 60 to 120 million bottles of champagne may go unsold.
The three biggest export markets for the champagne are the United Kingdom, the United States and Japan, three countries that have been quite strongly impacted by the pandemic. That's a factor. We hope things will be better. France represents a bit less than 50% of sales. So we are also a bit worried about the economic consequences of the pandemic.
In response to dropping sales, the champagne producers have decided to put a cap on the amount of grapes they send for processing into wine. So only 8,000 kgs of grapes will be harvested from a hectare, and the rest will be left to rot. It's a sad turn of events that in the year of a bumper crop, the bubbly has lost its sparkle. Bureau Report, WION World is One.